Out Film CT is Connecticut's longest-running film festival. Each June, festival organizers work to bring the community together to introduce, celebrate, and rediscover ideas and values that make the LGBT community unique. When the festival launched 31 years ago, this was a controversial undertaking. I spoke with festival director Shane Engstrom to learn about the evolution of the festival.
A group of individuals in the arts community decided to get together, and they launched a LGBT magazine and theater productions, and the film festival was also one of the things that they wanted to do, and it's the only part of that original organization called Alternatives that has survived today.
Wow. 31 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
And I know you've been involved with the festival in a variety of capacities now as the director, you're the guy in charge. But since 2000, how has the festival evolved since then?
It's really grown to be like one of the only community events for the LGBT community in the Connecticut area, besides a random pride here and there. And it's it's something that's been around for 31 years. People really enjoy it. It's a great place to meet new people and to come together as a community and to see some great films and talk about the films and generate some great discussions.
It's a week-long extravaganza of a variety of types of films, and one that jumped out to me, not only because it's the opening night film, but because of one of its protagonists, Paul Rudd, in the film Ideal Home. And the trailer for this film is just hysterical. Let's give a listen to that.
Oh, hello, and good morning. Now, if you've never been invited to a ranchero breakfast, well,
it's like the gay Butch Cassidy, except not Butch.
How did you bring that film into the festival?
Well, that film, it was a distributor that I work with quite frequently who reached out and said, I think we may be able to get you the North American premiere of the film if you're interested. And so we got...
You're like, nah, no thanks.
I don't know, Paul Rudd, Steve Coogan, I don't know if we want to show this. So we got a screener of the film and we watched it and everyone loved it. It's so funny.
Artichoke soup is sad, but if we use this as a base, we can make individual sformato.
Come on! Sformato and Limoges? Aren't we gay enough?
It's also really heartwarming because it's a great story about a young kid who shows up on their doorstep, and his partner, Paul Rudd, didn't even know he had a son, and so
now the grandson
is on their doorstep, and he's like, what are we going to do with him?
I live with Paul and Erasmus. They are gay. There are some words you should never use when you are talking to someone who is gay. Never say Bill. And never, ever, ever say no.
Another big name in the festival in a very different type of film is Alan Cumming, and the film is After Louie. And explain a little bit about what's going on in that film.
It's an intergenerational film where Alan Cumming, who plays someone who has lived through the AIDS crisis, and his partner had died from AIDS, and it's all about him meeting this very much younger guy who had a totally different life experience because he was kind of born after the whole AIDS crisis.
If you really think that no one can understand your life, then what is all this, huh?
For the festival overall, in your 31st year, now it's a very different experience for the gay and lesbian community. I think that the social consciousness, there's a lot more acceptance. Gay marriage is now legal. Yeah. 30 years ago, it must have been a very different time to have launched that festival. It
was received well, but like you said, it was a very different time. When it was launched, I've talked to some of the founders of the festival, and it was like, some of the founders of the festival weren't even out in the community themselves, and it originally got some media coverage, and TV cameras showed up at the festival, and people were like kind of freaking out because
it must have been somewhat of a controversial and a brave thing to have said, not only are we going to show gay and lesbian films, we're putting an entire festival around it and really trying to draw attention to the fact that we're opening ourselves up to the community.
Exactly.
Wow. Another film is Every Act of Life, and it's a documentary focused on Terrence McNally, right?
He's actually going to be attending the film, so it's very exciting for us to bring, a 4-time Tony Award-winning playwright to Hartford to have a discussion with with the audience. I mean, how often does an audience in Hartford, Connecticut get to talk to someone and ask someone of that stature and ask them questions about their life, about, and for those who aren't familiar with him, he's written so many plays that are on Broadway. The one that's playing right now is Anastasia. He's written Kiss of the Spider Woman, Love, Valor, and Compassion. It was a no-brainer for us when we watched the documentary about his film, about his life, and about LGBT issues across the decades while he was writing. And it was, there are a lot of different stars in the film, Angela Lansbury, Nathan Lane, who are all talking about their relationship with him. And so it's kind of, we have to show this film.
That'll be fantastic to see.
Yeah.
Series of short films have some local connections, right? You have individual nights dedicated to gay, lesbian, and transgender short films. Yeah. Any local connection you'd like to highlight?
On the centerpiece night, we're showing a film called Alterations, and the film's star, Danny Aranca, is a Hartford native. So it's great to be the platform to launch her career, maybe.
And what's the film scene like in the Connecticut area now? It's evolved, right?
Yeah, it has. I mean, there are some prominent people in the film community who are in Connecticut. Connecticut tourism had a big push to give tax credits to filmmakers to film in Connecticut. And, we've received lots of different submissions over time. A lot of the big films are, international or, come from all over the U.S. So it's always great if we can find a local talent. We showed one a few years ago called The Green, from someone who was from Guilford area. There's a lot going on, and we encourage all Connecticut filmmakers to submit to us.
Now, it seems like we have a wide range of films represented, whether that's comedy, documentary, drama, etc. And what if someone's looking at this and saying, well, I see it's the Out Film Festival, I'm heterosexual, why would I attend such an event? What would you say to them?
I would say, this festival is not just for the LGBT community, it's for everyone, really, because, anyone who is a fan of independent film will find our festival just a treat, because there are so many great films out there, and they tackle issues related to the LGBT community, but, they're great. They stand on their own in terms of independent film, and, we welcome everyone.
Well, great. Thanks for coming in today to chat with us.
All right. Well, thank you.